and Cox's Bazar hasn't been taken over by the Rohingyas. It belongs to Bangladesh very much and run by Bangladeshis. So I think we need to be a little patient before, or pragmatic before passing on such demands, because we believe in consultation, we listen, our eyes and ears are open, and we take inputs from all of you. And we love to work with civil society, and that will continue to be the case. Now, it is alarming. There are journalists who covers diplomatic bit are known that we see this problem from two different angles, or divide the issue in two different parts. One is, of course, the humanitarian part, and the other one is the political, which is repatriation. Now, of course, as we wait, and God knows how long we need to wait for the repatriation, but we went very close. There were 3 attempts. There were 2 definitive dates. The buses and trucks were had, all the arrangements were made, and it was postponed at the very last minute. So that's how close we were. You need to have a very deep understanding of this country, the past, their role during the First World War, Second World War, relationship with China, relationship with Japan. And needless to say that these 2 countries still holds a very strong influence over. Now, it's very difficult, and I hate to say this, but Honorable Minister will not be able to express, but I have this liberty to become a non-government member in the parliament. And unfortunately, the country Myanmar that has so much potential is fragmented today. It is sad. Look at, we know that, we know for sure that agricultural output in this stage, in this part of the world, in Southeast Asia and part of East Asia, is far accurate, yield is probably highest. Now I'm not jumping from one issue to another, there's a correlation. That Myanmar can be a solution for the food supply or production or harvest issue for this entire region. This country is, the lands are as good as ours. It's very fertile land. If you have driven, I had this opportunity to go to Naypyidaw, and I drove like almost 6 hours, and it's nothing but agriculture and dense, not necessarily forest, but very organized agriculture. And there are minerals, connectivity. Now you also need to understand that during this time of conflict, I said fragmented Myanmar, which is happening. The war that has broke out in the state of Arakan or Rakhine, there are at least 2 very significant infrastructure that was untouched, both by Tatmadaws or by the rebel groups. I leave this question to the journalist friends to find out why so. Of course, we are not encouraging anyone to do further damage, but why those infrastructures were untouched? And that's where the politics or geopolitics or sensitivity and relationship, whichever way you want to put it, lies deep down. Now, we need to be watchful, careful, and have patience. A country cannot fail in this era. Of course, the international community collectively failed. I'll repeat that no matter what. But they cannot continue to fail. Priorities, even these humble efforts of OCAP, and of course the UN organization, ASEAN, different countries. I must name a couple: United States, European Union, United Kingdom are the loudest among the voices to resolve this problem and for the humanitarian support. We express our gratitude, but at the same time I'd like to humbly remind everyone, and there are misperception and misconception, that no money that is raised for the humanitarian assistance comes to the government of Bangladesh. It goes straight to the UN organizations and they are the sole authority and only authority. And they are the one who decides where the money is going to go and how it is going to spend. We are only there during the budget preparation as kind of not even a partner or active partner, because the geographic location of the problem now, the Rohingyas are living in Bangladesh, happens to be in Bangladesh, and that's why we're there. But it's the UN organization who prepares the budget, and they are the one who spends it. So if someone says that this much of money was given by this country to Bangladesh, that's a wrong statement. So, we need to be careful in that front as well. The issue is alive, no matter how loud the other issues are, including Gaza, Ukraine, Houthis, Yemen. The challenge for our Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Government of Bangladesh is to keep the issue alive. And we said that time again. And we are grateful to our friends in the community who are covering, but I would humbly request you to go a little deeper, because 7 years on, or in a way 40 years on, okay, there are generational changes, but we should have a capacity. And I'll take all the criticism if government lacks any capacity in understanding and tackling this issue. But it's painful when we see that foreign correspondents are terming a very noble initiative of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina to build a purpose-built facility called Vashanchar, terming that as a floating island and throwing Rohingyas into the deep sea. Sadly, it's very sad. But many of you have done that. Or many of us, let's put it this way, have failed to confront it. But 3 or 4 years down the line, it's welcoming. But again, we delayed like 2 or 3 years, and we should have built another cluster that can possibly house another 100,000 or 200,000. Or at least we could have decongested the camp and saved those lives that were lost during those fires. Now, no one will take that responsibility. That will come automatically on our shoulders. But we could have avoided the risk, the perceived risk of the camp for possible landslide, stampede, fire, hazards, spread of those diseases, choleras, and some other, I forgot the name of the, we had a little outbreak back in 2018, waterborne disease. So we need deeper understanding, but we need to be on the same boat. We are engaged, and there were provocations, but I don't need to remind you what Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina told many of you during her interaction after concluding a visit in the past, that how we have averted those provocation. And it's hilarious, it's funny that the same Tatmadaw who has pushed out, thrown out, burned, killed, caused personal harms to those million is taking refuge in Bangladesh at times to save their lives. And it's us, it's Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's government who is saving their life, because it's a life at the end of the day. There are international laws in place, and I'll urge the countries, some of you, again, we need to go a little deeper. Do not recognize ICC, and that's the only place where we can probably find justice when it comes to international matters. So whether or not those countries are member of ICC or supporting ICC, but in this case, we hope that they will keep on supporting Bangladesh and not jeopardize the progress we have made on the accountability front. That's the third angle: humanitarian, political solution, and accountability. And with the concerted efforts of the government and collective understanding of the situation, we do not know when, and of course, as it should be, Faridbhai concluded his statement or preparation brief saying that have we hit a date? Of course, then he went on to say, or what? And that means, he also realizes that it's a challenge, but over Time is probably the best seller in this case, and we need to continue doing what we are doing. Yes, we welcome the suggestion that we need to increase our efforts, and that's always the case when there is a problem. Till it gets solved, only thing we can do, shout more and engage more. And in coming days, we will continue to do that. I thank you once again for inviting us, and we hopefully we will continue to remain committed with our founding principles to look into these issues from humanitarian angle, and the rest of it comes later. I thank OCAP for inviting us. Thank you for your patience and judgment.
অনেক ধন্যবাদ শাহরিয়ার ভাই। শাহরিয়ার ভাই বাইরে থেকে দেখছেন।